Hi everyone, I'm Alka Sharma. I'm a transformational life coach, and today I want to share with you 4 ways to handle a bad day. I know all of us face bad days when things get out of hand, when we start feeling stuck, when we feel a little victimized, when we feel really stressed out. And it is extremely unproductive, whether it's personal or professional. When we talk about a bad day, it's actually something that takes away hours and hours of precious time, of precious resources, and most importantly, our peace of mind. The first thing that we should do to handle a bad day is to label the emotion. Let me explain this a bit to you. When we say label the emotion, it could be anxiety, it could be nervousness, it could be lack of understanding, it could be just pure stress, it could just be some pain, it could be any emotion. So, the first thing that you should do to handle a bad day and to basically stop that negative spiral is to label the emotion. This helps put your limbic system to rest. And then you can actually feel a little better, feel a little relaxed, and get back to your work or task or conversation. The second thing that you should do after labeling the emotion is to pause. Now, I know it's really difficult because the negative spiral or the multiple meetings and that thought process that goes on in your mind is very difficult to break out of. But you have to look at some way that you can pause, whatever works for you. If you think you can take a deep breath, if you think you can take a glass of water, if you think you can count till 10, those are some things that all of us have heard many times. Take that pause. It's important that we pause and see things in perspective, see them factually, see them without drama. And I know it's really difficult when we're in that situation, but the moment you label your emotion, you've set that piece aside, it's easier to pause and it's easier to understand what's going on. At this point, don't try to analyze, just pause. Now you go on with your meetings, you go on with your day, and then look for the next opportunity that you get to move. That's the third step that you need to take. Now, when we say move, it does not mean that you make a phone call. It does not mean that you go and sit in front of a screen. It does not mean, getting busy on social media. Move means physically moving. So if you think you can take a short walk, if you think you can climb up a flight of stairs, if you think you can walk across to the next block, if you think you can basically do any kind of physical movement, take that time to invest in moving. Moving is extremely important because it helps you release that stress and it helps you release that bad day. The fourth step that you have to do after you move and when you're in a better state, at the end of the day or the end of the week, whenever you feel a little more settled, is to reflect. Reflection is extremely important, especially because when you see things factually and without drama, when you really look at the different pieces in the puzzle, when you look at the people you're interacting with, when you look at the situations that present themselves, you will understand that if you are better equipped, if your response is more trained to suit your needs, you can actually, in the same situation with the same set of people, have a better day, have a better meeting. And therefore, it's important to reflect. Take the help of nature to sit in a corner, feel more secure, feel positive, or write down on a journal at the end of a day. But do it when you're peaceful, when you're at rest, and then note down the patterns, and also try to write down the response that you think you could do next time. If you do not really understand what kind of a response you could have in such a situation, you can seek the help of coaches, you can seek the help of mentors. You can try to work towards that empowerment, which will help you feel so much more in control of your life. So, these are the 4 steps that you can actually take to transform a bad day. The first step that you have to take is to label the emotion. The second step that you have to take is to pause. The third step is to move. And the fourth step that you can take is to reflect. Now, while we're taking these 4 steps, what we have to understand is we're basically taking ourselves from a situation of turmoil or stress, or where we're feeling a little uncomfortable, to a situation where we can now take stock of what's happening in our brain. So it's actually moving us from point A to point B and helping us take this first step in self-awareness, in trying to record what we can really do. And there are many ways which can be created, which can help us create a new pattern, a new habit to respond to exactly the same situations. But what we have to realize is that we have to start by understanding that we own our experience, and it has to start with self-development. This is Alka signing off. If you want to continue the conversation, do write into me. I really, really appreciate your feedback. Do tell me if there are new topics that you want to discuss. Thank you very much. Goodbye. All the best.